Hello and welcome to episode 27 of the Clutch Report with Shivers and Karak. Today we have a friend of the pod. Welcome back, Mr. Avanish Hegde. How are you doing?
All well. I mean, going into the Super Fours now, should we say, of the World Cup from the Super Eights, and everything seemingly doing well in the football side as well, Shiv. I mean, you and me can chuckle about a lot of things, and we can, of course, put the salt in the wounds of our Liverpool friend over here.
Avnish, I don't want to talk about last night's disaster of a game. But before we even get to the football side, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. That is South Africa versus New Zealand, and mainly South Africa. They've been unbeaten so far. What have you made of them so far, Avnish?
Brilliant, honestly brilliant. I mean, sure, people can say that they've not traveled that much and they've played Ahmedabad, Delhi, and they've got some of the tosses going their way, the one against India where they wiped the floor with us. But you look at that bench strength as well. I mean, the last group game that they played in the Super 8 was against Zimbabwe, so they brought in like people like George Linder, Kwena Mafaka, and you literally can tell that they are a well-oiled engine in terms of like not just the 11 but the 14. So in case they do have a few pull-ups before the final, if they make it there, then they're still in safe hands. And I think South Africa are destined to win this tournament. I mean, it'll be great to see India win it as an Indian fan, but just imagine if South Africa win it. I mean, today they play, we're recording this just 5 hours before the semi-final, and I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a New Zealand fan, they've never beaten South Africa in T20 World Cup cricket. I read that stat somewhere. So I think, look, if they are going to change something, today is the day. The toss will play a huge part, Rohit. I mean, it's Kolkata. It's going to be similar conditions that we've seen in the IPL. So if I have to put money on anyone, I'd probably put money on New Zealand because the odds will be 100% there. But South Africa, India is my penciled in final. Shiv?
Yeah, I mean, South Africa, I think they've dominated pretty much every game this tournament apart from that Afghanistan game. And just the balance of their squad has looked phenomenal, right? And yeah, right now they look like the ones to beat for sure. I think in that India game, if you look at just the way they
Yeah.
convincingly like brushed us aside, which I thought was a good wake-up call for India, who have been patchy also. But something with New Zealand is like they have a good record against South Africa in semi-finals, especially if we go back to that 2015 World Cup, where of course AB de Villiers and all those hearts were broken. But New Zealand also have had quite a patchy campaign, I'd say. I don't think they've been very convincing, but they always seem to find themselves in a semi-final of an ICC tournament, right?
It's that cliche punching above the weight, and they always do it. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel with South Africa, they haven't been really playing in spin decks like the other countries have this World Cup. They didn't need to travel to Sri Lanka at all. So this time, tonight will probably be the biggest spin test under the semi-final pressure and all of that. With New Zealand, Shiv, I generally feel like there'll be one or two guys who'll just deliver a crazy performance for them to take them over the line. I mean, it's crazy. Even if you look at the larger scheme of things, these are two teams who, yes, have won a WTC in the last 5, 6 years. South Africa doing it last year, New Zealand before that 4 years ago. But they haven't really won a white ball ICC tournament. Now, if any of these sides go through, the question is, okay, fine, can they beat India at their very own den? Because I honestly don't see England going through, but that's a chat in a couple of minutes' time. But come back South Africa, New Zealand, whoever wins this, they surely should go on and cross that final obstacle. So I'm hoping from a neutral cricket perspective, it is South Africa and New Zealand, and we have different winners. I know this tournament has never seen back-to-back winners. The hosts never win it, and all of that. But South Africa and New Zealand it'll be a great semi-final, let alone the larger story.
No, I think absolutely. Also, from the start of the World Cup, I've always mentioned to Shiv also that I'm a huge South Africa fan. So it's just great to see them just play just great cricket overall, and just that lineup, man. They had bat so deep. They have Corbin Bosch, who's been excellent, who's had 11 wickets so far. They have Lungi NDD, who's been unbelievable for them, even though Rabada is a little bit on the expensive side. And also their batting, if De Kock and Markram don't come along, they have Miller, they have Stubbs, they have
Yeah.
the Chota ABD, they call him. So they just look like such a formidable lineup, and I don't see New Zealand even causing any trouble to the South Africa team. And like you mentioned, they've been supremely lucky to just play in two venues, and that's ICC's fault because in a big tournament like this, how are you letting them just play only in Ahmedabad? And it looks like they have played more games in Ahmedabad than in Cape Town, and that is that is hilarious, right?
It,
So
It's
it's
insane. I
it's
mean, now that I just think about the semi-final, guys, I mean, if we had to close our eyes and think about how New Zealand can probably win, I would say bat first, get about 150, 160, maybe even 170. And then I really feel Matt Henry holds the cards because he's such a devastating bowler in terms of recent form in this shortest format. He has one or two good balls with your name on it, and that could be Markham, that could be de Kock, and then you get South Africa on the back foot because they're obviously going to be having scoreboard pressure. So that's one way I see New Zealand win it. I don't see New Zealand chase it down, even though they have the likes of Glenn Phillips and Chapman batting late and Santner to finish things off. If New Zealand has to win it, guys, I generally think that they'll win it batting first.
No,
Yeah,
also with
I mean,
Matt
just
Henry,
coming to
right? I
that.
think.
Yeah.
Go on, Shiv. Go on.
No, I was just saying, coming to that, this Kolkata pitch, as we've seen even in the India-West Indies game, has been an absolute road in terms of, I think West Indies were probably 20, 30 short in that game, could have probably got there. And I still think India may have chased that 220, even if that score was on the board. Do you think we'll see something similar with the pitch?
It's a hard one to predict. I feel like the wear and tear has been there, but Eden Gardens generally has been flatter than the traditional 2019 IPL pitches where it had a little bit more for the spinners. Having said that, though, there are some really good spinners. I mean, you look at the two best left-arm spinners right now in T20 cricket, arguably Santner and Maharaj. Both of them will probably be just looking to get a 2 for 27 sort of spell in. But it'll be those game changers in the field because both these set of teams have incredible boundary riders. You think of Glenn Phillips, you think of
Right.
Devol Brevis, you think of just generally this game being grabbed by a moment of brilliance in the field or just some harakiri in the middle. In New Zealand, South Africa, Shiv, you said it earlier, so much of emotional, historic evidence that you wouldn't put it past it tonight for more chapters to be born out of this rivalry.
Yeah.
Also, I think just about this game, Avnish, who do you think is going to be your pick of the players, say from South Africa and New Zealand? Do you have a player you think to watch out for?
Oof. So I think I hinted about my New Zealand player, him being Matt Henry. But South Africa, look, I've always loved Aiden Markram. I think he leads the team beautifully. I think he's just a class act on and off the field. I bumped into him in one of the IPLs, just a sweet man. And just the fact that he's had a good couple of impactful innings just bodes well for him to lead the chase well. If they do chase well, if they come out and they need to get off the traps really quickly. So Markram for me and Matt Henry is going to be the key.
Nice. Also, a little bit about Matt Henry. Congratulations, Matt Henry. Just became a father and he's actually just landed yesterday. So last night was when he landed in Kolkata. So exciting times for Matt Henry, and I'm hoping that he's mentally fit and ready to play this big game. But yeah, moving on to India versus England, I think we need to talk about Cheta Adipoli.
What a story. What a story. I mean, that night was pretty crazy because it was my mum's birthday and I was watching Sesko, but then I was watching Samson, and both them gave me joy. But Samson purely because he's not had that moment and it was his moment. And truly special knock. I mean, you think about it, and this is a guy who's played for 11 years in terms of T20 cricket, not really had the opportunities. It's been well documented anyway. The lad is born on the 11th of November. 11-11, apparently, people are saying in Kerala, but it's just all worked out for him. And I think if he can produce another gem, either in the semi-final or if India make the final, he'll be a cult hero. He already is in obviously some parts of the world, but I generally think Samson, what a knock, what a story, and something that Indian fans will remember when they cast their mind back to this World Cup. When you look back at previous World Cups, you'll remember the odd knock here or there, the odd brilliant innings, but here I think Samson is wonderfully got those headlines written for him.
Yeah. And just overall on India's campaign, I mean, I found our form to be a bit patchy. Luckily, in each of the games, someone has put their hand up, like we had Sanju in the last game, Ishan against Pakistan, or even Dubey, I think it was against the Netherlands. So someone has put their hand up in every game, but I think the whole unit together has still not come together. Someone like an Abhishek Sharma also struggling. Do you see any concerns, I mean, in terms of the form overall?
See, what concerns me as an Indian fan right now is that I look at that runs scored list and it's Surya Kumar Yadav with about 234 runs. But even if you break down Sky's knocks, apart from the odd 70 that he got against USA, it's just been here and there. And then you look at people like Ishan Kishan, Tilak Varman, and Hardik Pandya. So there's not really anyone who's grabbed the bull by its horns with a bat in hand and gone on to score a lot of runs, which you normally associate with an Indian side, i.e. Virat Kohli. But that man isn't
Mhm.
there. And I feel like now with him or few people not being a focus, there have been a lot of things working for India, whether it's a few canny overs from um, Varun or whether there's the usage of Bumrah being better. I know the fielding has been kind of dire. The last game saw 3 catches against Netherlands. I think they dropped 3 more. So that's something that they'll always kind of want to like just chisel out and tinker for themselves. But the main concern shift for me is I generally feel like they were given a reality check against South Africa. And I feel if India have to win this World Cup, they have to win it chasing. And I don't think they can win it
Mhm.
defending it like they did last time around. So they bat deep. Sometimes batting depth in T20 cricket is an illusion. I mean, you can say 45 for 3 in 6 overs or whatever, and you'll just think about it and be like, but can this guy really deliver in the end in a big match game? Only time will tell. But come back to your larger question, what are the problems for India right now? The top 3, I would say, is just generally a problem. And how we kind of going to use our bowlers, especially against England. Do we keep them for Brook or do we just sedate them up top with Salt and Butler not firing and just put more pressure there? So lots of questions to be asked, but there's lots more wrinkling out need to be done if we're going to win the World Cup again and defend it and all of that stuff. So we haven't played the best cricket, but sometimes you don't play the best and you still get over the line. So I don't know if that's a good sign for Indian fans, but I think the large part of the country is observing it that way.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be any tinkering with
Spot
the
on,
team though?
Avnish.
Tinkering with the team, I was just going to come to that because I feel like there's been a lot of chopping and changing with Rinku and then Boshi, and then even at the top of the order, they went for the 2 left-handers, then they got Cheetah back in. I think because it was a virtual quarterfinal against the West Indies, they will go unchanged. I don't see them making any sort of tactical matchups here. Though maybe Sundar is an interesting shout because there is a strong amount of left-handers that South Africa possess. But if they won against West Indies like that, stick with that team and go for it. My only question mark, Shiv and Rohit, is Hardik Pandya's 4 overs. I love him to bits as a bowler. I loved him to bits as a batter and all-rounder. But those key overs, because there have been times where he has been taken to the cleaners, and I just hope for India's chance of winning the tournament, these 2 games, you see Hardik put up a 2 for 30 in a critical performance.
Yeah.
But I think also, Avnish, I think when it comes to the bowling side of things for India, especially against West Indies, they just used 5 bowlers. Honestly, I was surprised that they didn't use Shivam Dube. But given that Shivam Dube obviously is playing that all-rounder position, do you think a 6th bowler to be introduced in this lineup would just help India ease that bowling pressure overall?
It's a good point that you bring up because even I observed that the other day. The fact that you're bowling Shivam Dube in a lot of games prior to this virtual quarterfinal, and then come the big occasion, you're just like, we don't get that much confidence with the guys, so we'll just stick with our 5 and then go with it. And that's, I think, essentially also played into India's hands because imagine if they were defending, then one bowler has a bad day, and then you're like, oh my god, what are we going to do here? So we saw it in the World Cup final the 2 years ago. I mean, the fact that Akshar got taken to the cleaners by Henrik Klaasen and then Hardik and Bumrah had to bail him out. So it can be a tough, tricky situation for Sky out there as a captain, but I think he should stick to his gut, stick to the 5 bowlers, and the odd time, depends on game situation, bring in a Dube or get someone else rolling the arm just to, throw the opposition off. So I would look at it like that. But England, guys, I mean, essentially, can they do us in Mumbai? I don't think so. People are casting their mind back to Adelaide 2022, Guyana 2024, 2026 Mumbai. I feel it depends heavily on the toss, but still, I feel no matter what England throw at us, we'll have the answers.
Yeah, I mean, coming to England, right? They've had, again, similar to us, a patchy tournament. They got over the line in tough games, in games that you should say that they should win convincingly, whether that's Italy or Nepal. But then I think in the in the Super 8s, they were far more convincing. I think that Harry Brook 100 really sort of laid down a marker that these guys are here to perform. But even there, towards the end, there was a little bit of a choke and they nearly didn't get over the line. But yeah, England, they found themselves in the semi-final. I think they won every game in the Super 8s. Overall, as a campaign, what have you made of them?
Very good. Sometimes again getting over the line because sure Nepal did give them a big run for their money, but Will Jacks has been a real sensation for them this World Cup. I mean, coming out from the Ashes, coming in Sri Lanka, getting that prep done, then of course for the World Cup, incredible performances. It's not very often that you see a guy get 4 Man of the Match awards in any tournament, ODI, Test cricket, or T20s, and I feel like this man has really underlined that moment of history, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But largely as well, you look at England, you think about England T20 cricket in the last 8-9 years, Shibin Rohit, under Morgan, and then under Butler, and now under Brook. They've always had depth. They've always had a guy who could come in and tonk it in the end. Even the last Super 8 games, Rian Ahmed comes in for Jamie Overton, gets them over the line, regarded as a spin hitter, proves dividends. So what they've kind of touched in the Super 8s has turned to gold. What they did touch in the group stage was okay. And now I feel like, again, that cliche, are they peaking at the right time? Coming across India against any in any format, in any venue, it'll be tough. But I feel England, India today, it won't be so much of a gulf in class. It'll probably be India winning by 13 or 14 runs. That's how I see it.
Wow. Avnish, also, I think we need to talk about Harry Brook's form. I think that innings, which against Sri Lanka, if I'm not wrong, was, I think, the knock of the tournament so far. I think he
Against
pushed
Pakistan,
himself
against
one
Pakistan.
down, played it against
Pakistan.
Pakistan, sorry, against Pakistan. He pushed himself one down and played that innings in such a manner that, it's good to see that, finally Harry Brook also is realizing that, he could play that one down position rather than play 3 down or 4 down, because it's pretty obvious that Butler and Salt are not firing. And if at all they fire, because we all know that Butler has one game in every tournament where he goes berserk, then might be issues for India. But then we can go on to Will Jacks also, and I feel like the way they've used him as a bowler has been mightily impressive, because they make him use him in the power play, which is very nice to see. And overall, I think Brook has been great with his captaincy, and I'm just hoping that Archer doesn't fire like how he usually fires outside of the World Cup, and then if that happens, I think India's in trouble.
Archer is definitely a key for them because if he can just get a few Indians ruffled at the top of the order, it'll be not the best time to walk out for Surya and Tilak and the boys like that. I think Adil Rashid also holds the key because I think he will dangle the carrot, so to speak, try to induce the false shot. And I think he's had a couple of decent spells and few comeback moments in those games as well, which underlines his importance in this team. Brook, just the fact that he's been able to change position. He started the World Cup batting at 5. There was Banton ahead of him, Bethel, of course, behind that. And then you had Brooks. So when McCullum just decided to kind of take a gamble, it's paid off, and it's paid off incredibly. I mean, he scored, 152? When I look at all the top scores this World Cup, most batters have just ended up on 100 flat, which is, again, so rare because you had Nisanka, you had the Zimbabwean batter do it, I think, as well.
You have the Canadian guy.
The Canadian guy, sorry.
Yuvraj.
Yeah, Yuvraj as well. So it's just been remarkable. Coming back to England, though, Jacks, Brook have been, I think, the carriers of this team this World Cup for sure. And many people in the UK would be hoping that they'd give them 2 more performances of that. One in Mumbai and one in Ahmedabad.
Yeah, I think with England and also someone like a South Africa, you can see that some of their IPL experience is paying off. Like we have a lot of their players who play in the IPL, and that's probably held them in good stead and got them to that semi-final stage. But coming back to India, I want to talk about Abhishek Sharma briefly. What do you think has gone wrong in this tournament for him? Is it just a matter of pressure of playing his first World Cup, or do you see something technically wrong with him right now?
No, technically, I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think he's just got little mental demons after that first duck. It can happen to even the best of the cricketers. We've seen it with Virat getting 2 back-to-back ducks and then he come back. He's got 3. And if he got 4, he'd get the Audi. He got 5, he'd get the Olympic rings, which is never going to be pretty for any Indian fans.
Yeah.
But the fact that all the top 3 batters in world cricket in T20s right now have had shit tournaments. Phil Salt, Joss Butler and Abhishek Sharma, right? So it's, again, a rarity that you see those 3 gun players all have bang average tournaments. And again, they're 2 bites of the cherry. So many people obviously writing all these guys off. These guys turn up today. It's incredible. The law of averages also Shiv in a way because he's had such a good run in T20 cricket. It's incredible, right? Had an amazing debut, and then just took like a duck to water from there. Obviously, all these boys play the IPL, where after the impact rule, it's almost given you more fuel to just go gung-ho and play kamikaze cricket at the top of the order. And Abhishek Sharma has someone like Travis Head off him. All of these small little things make a huge difference in terms of the final product and package that you are. And I generally feel that there is one deadly innings coming our way from Abhishek, whether it's tonight or whether it's in Ahmedabad. It'll be maddening. It'll be maddening because we know that the guy gives us glimpses of Yuvraj Singh. He's mentored by Yuvraj Singh. He's probably got as many crazy records, not the ultimate one, 6 sixes, but many other accolades like Yuvraj Singh. So I generally feel in this moment of time, we shall use that little phrase, which is "this time shall pass too," if I got that right.
No, but about Abhishek Sharma also, obviously I used to work for Sunrisers and I used to see him bat during the nets, and man, the man is just filled with talent, like abundance of talent there, because the way he hits that ball, you just know that, if he doesn't play for 10 innings, the 11th innings he's going to hit 100 off a 50 ball or a 40 ball. So, like you said, man, we just have to hope that he comes in and gives us at least one decent innings this World Cup, and I think we should be good. But I think that should be good, Shiv, with respect to the World Cup. I think we should move on.
One last thing I want to ask.
Oh,
One last thing I want to ask Avanish is, if say we beat England, are you worried about the curse of Ahmedabad?
That's my thing. That's what I was going to make a reel on as well, because I was thinking myself, India beat England, New Zealand lose to South Africa, it's India, South Africa again, instead of obviously Barbados, it's Ahmedabad, and literally mirror spitting image of what happened in Barbados. So basically imagine this, India chasing, Surya on strike, he's gone down the ground, and long gone it's Miller. South Africa win the fucking World Cup. I'll lose my shit, bro. I'll lose my shit. And then I'll blame it on Ahmedabad. I'll blame it on that stadium if that shit happens. So, I don't know. I've said my piece, and I think if that happens, clip it out. Literally clip it out.
Yeah. I mean, if this happens again, BCCI better just ban that stadium. We do not want to play there anymore. You can put group games there, but please do not give us any finals or semi-finals at that ground. But there was another thing that happened this World Cup, is that surprisingly, India was made a lot of fun of last year because we had all our games in Dubai during the Champions Trophy. But Pakistan was extended that courtesy, having all their games in Sri Lanka, pretty much just moving between Kandy and Colombo. But they bowed out of the tournament, and now they have been fined by the PCB, which seems like something that has never happened before. Avnish, have you heard of anything like this?
It's bizarre. I mean, I was trying to do my research across sport, not just cricket, if this has happened. And I don't know, maybe some odd sport here or there in the world, players would have probably taken a stake financially, but it's ridiculous. Just imagine some of the players in that Pakistan team, they can barely make ends meet, you know what I mean? And I'm not throwing them under the bus, and I'm not taking a dig at the Pakistan currency here, but it is shocking. It is really shocking. It underlines the fact that it is an unstable plane. It's always turbulent. They're always changing captains in terms of the aero industry. I mean, not captains figuratively, but like, you know what I mean? The coaches keep going in and out. The players, imagine they're heading back to Pakistan and they've just been deducted that. And I don't know, it's just laughable, bro. I mean, I think some players should have, but not all of them. Some players probably don't even have that much in their bank accounts, so their bank accounts might be negative right now. You know what I mean? Which is like fending off, eating like rice and mutton on the roads in Karachi. And sad.
Oh,
but
God. Oh, man.
Karak, we were also talking about some of the stories of the associate teams. And Avnish, you want to talk about Nepal briefly? I think you made a prediction about them.
A prediction in terms of them kind of being the next big thing in Test cricket. I think their fans and that part of the world really know how to embrace cricket, celebrate it, and the passion that we've seen even from their traveling fans, not just this World Cup, the last World Cup is there to see. So I hope they go down the Afghanistan route. I hope India do suddenly somehow make it that 2019 year, which was so important to Afghanistan, where they had that one-off test in Bangalore, and from there on, Afghanistan were at least allowed to kind of go about their business in Test cricket. So if Nepal do become that story, it'll be fantastic, but definitely a main takeaway from this World Cup. Nepal, for me, and Italy as well. I mean, I know Rhodes wearing the football jersey, but for them to kind of feature in this World Cup, just gave us a feeling of a World Cup, because all our cricket fans have just
Yeah.
always had just 10, 12 teams. But when we watch a football World Cup, which we will later down the line in 3 months, 4 months' time, the amount of different countries just makes you think that it is a World Cup. When you see Cape Verde take on Norway and I don't know, Brazil play Japan, then you know it's a World Cup. Sheer cricket is getting there, and I think onwards and upwards. So this tournament has gone the right direction in terms of more teams.
Yeah. And even with the semifinals of this tournament, right, we've got 4 different teams from 4 different continents. I know these are all established cricketing nations, but it's still a good thing that we have representation from all over the world. But yeah, hopefully India can pull through. First in Mumbai tomorrow, and then on Sunday, hopefully in Ahmedabad, and that curse of Ahmedabad can be lifted. Karak, there's something else that we need to talk to you about. We have 2 United fans here who are currently sitting pretty in third. And Karak, the Wolves came at you yesterday, man. How are you feeling after last night?
Man, firstly, slot out. I've been saying this for a while, but I think we should just let him go. I don't see any changes. Obviously, before the Wolves game, we had won 6 out of 7. But if you'd watched that game, we kind of didn't deserve to win 5 out of the 7 games we played. We've been shocking. The press is off. We only press when we concede. Our attacking has been in shambles. Cody Gakpo, 2 goals out of 16. Salah finally scored after 871 minutes in the Premier League. The only person who's scoring right now is Ekitike and Szoboszlai and Virgil van Dijk. No Florian Wirtz. We've been talking about Wirtz being not so great for the amount of money we have paid. But listen, without him, we look horrendous. And yesterday against Wolves, credit to Wolves, I thought they were brilliant. I thought they pressed really well. They made the changes. They made the right changes at the right time. And when they got that second goal, if you watch that second goal, you could just see that, okay, listen, this was coming, because we literally just didn't know how to get out of our own box. And overall, man, I just feel like I've been trying to say this out loud for the last 6 months. We have a number 6 called Gravenberg, who performed exceedingly well last season, but then this season he's been a shadow of himself. Then you have McAllister, who's again been a shadow of himself, and then Slot's obsession of not playing Curtis Jones at all when he's the only ball holding player there for us. So overall, just disappointing for the amount of money we've spent. And I'm just like done with watching Slot play, because he bores the fuck out of football. And listen, he's fucking hypocritical. He talks about set pieces. He talks about a lot of different things. This man's removed Frimpong, Gordon Gomez for his throw-ins. So shut the fuck up. This is football. Play and move on and stop fucking complaining.
So is there no amount of sympathy that Liverpool fans have with Slot, even though he won them the league in the first season and all of that? How do you see this play out? Because even though you want Slot out, is there a ready-made replacement? Would you go the sentimental route and get Gerrard or Klopp
No, see,
back?
I would say Xabi Alonso. He's sitting in Spain and having his paella. So, listen, get him on board. He's a fantastic manager. He knows the club in and out. And we need that attacking football back. We need to have like a philosophy where Liverpool fans can get used to. Like, we had Klopp where, it was from doubters to believers. Here we are looking at Slot from believers to I don't know what the fuck he's doing there, because, nothing is working out there. Absolutely nothing. Uh, just say, like, remove Slot, get in Gerrard for like 3 months, get that top 4 in, and then get in Xabi Alonso, give him that preseason. He has the players. He's worked with Wirtz. He's worked with Frimpong. He knows the system. Just fucking get him before he loses out.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I feel there'll be wholesale changes for Liverpool this summer, and I don't even know if they're going to get top 5, top 6 anymore, because Aston Villa, Chelsea, and Liverpool really dragged in that race, with United kind of going head and shoulders above everyone. And Shiv, it just makes me think, I mean, have you ever seen a champion team defend their crown so badly in any of the top 5 leagues across Europe? Because, I mean, I'm not just purposely throwing Liverpool under the bus here and just rubbing salt into Road's wounds, but think about it. Champion team last year, and then absolute just bang average mid-table side this year, by the looks of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only team I can recollect who's had such a bad defense is us after Sir Alex Ferguson retired, and we had David Moyes come in. But completely different circumstances. This is a change of manager, etc., etc. But with Slot, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of you guys were in a decent run of form recently, but a lot of games this season, y'all have conceded goals in stoppage time, like, beyond the 85th minute. Is it just a matter of you guys going to sleep or you guys putting too many men forward to try and get a winner? Like, Karak, what's happening? I think it's Leeds, Burnley, now Wolves. And I think there's many other games where right at the death, y'all have just thrown it away.
And again, if you watch those two goals, Andre has ample amount of time to take 10 touches and then put it on the right and take a shot. Whereas where Rio Negmoa was right behind him, he could have gone and given him a little bit of a pressure there from the backside. You never know, Andre would have passed it on the left-hand side and there might be a cross and we might have defended it. But we just give up, man. Like, I just feel like after the 75th minute to the 80th minute, we just stop running. And that's the problem. And another problem I see with Slot is that once we concede, there is no structure in place to attack. And that's a huge problem because if you watch the game yesterday and if you watch the other games also, the middle is open. It's once we go in there, once we are in the final third, we lose the ball. It's counter. It's 3-on-3 immediately from the half line. And that's a huge problem because none's coming back. Like, Gakpo stops running. And then you have Gravenberg, who just doesn't know how to even defend his space. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but I don't know what the fuck he does. McAllister stops running after a point. Curtis Jones comes on, and Curtis Jones is allowed to play right back because my man here, Slot, wanted Gomez to play centre back so that he can use him for his throw-ins. So I just don't understand the wholesale of changes happens just when we just concede, And yesterday I was so pissed off, so pissed off. I was watching Gakpo play. Believe me, in the first 10 minutes, I decided to like switch off my laptop because I can't watch that man play football. He gives hope. He gives like hope to everybody in India that listen, I can become a footballer. I am so sorry, Gakpo, but fuck's sake, man. Fuck's sake. He just goes on his right every single time. Like it's borderline. Like I'm like, bro, listen, shut up. Go on the left side. But no. But yeah, man, it's been hard.
It's
I think,
ridiculous. Apparently,
Avanish, we are enjoying
this was
this.
the first time, Shiv. Yeah, we're enjoying this. We're enjoying this
We're
massively.
truly enjoying this, but I want
I
to
read a
ask you,
stat.
buddy.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I've been enjoying watching Karak have this meltdown for the last 3-4 months. At the same time, something has happened with our club. How good is life under Michael Carrick, man?
Everything just feels better. The tea is just better. I'm getting signals which are turning green just before I go in. My sleep is amazing. Life can't be better. And I feel like it's such a great sort of time to go through. It's the perfect new manager bounce. I know we've experienced it with Oli, but I think with Carrick, I think stability has been the underlined word. He just knew exactly the basics of football to do what he had to do with the threats he had up front, inverted wingers, and then just play a 4-2-3-1. We've seen it with Fergie over the years. We've seen it with proper United teams over the years where they do have the 4-2-3-1, or they kind of go into a 4-4-2 at times if they really need to throw another striker on. So I've loved every little minute of football with Carrick. Different tests.
Yeah.
Started off, of course, City at home. Arsenal away was just brilliant. Then Fulham at home, the late winner. And that's what really makes our club, Rohit. I mean, sorry, Shiv. The fact that it is literally a club defined by late goals, stories, and why we love United. Why we love United is because of just memories like this. So I'm not going to just think that we're going to be plain sailing and everything's going to go back to normal. There's still lots more work to be done. I wouldn't be so quick to get a high-profile manager on board straight away. I know Arsenal fans are joking at me saying if this guy's name was Michael Carrick, he would have already got a 5-year gig, but it's Michael Carrick and he's English, so he wouldn't get that gig that way. But I see United just finishing third, solidifying that, and then it's a big, big time for them in the summer in terms of sticking with the manager. If they get rid of Carrick and they get someone else in, and then again the results just don't go away till December, then would he go back to Carrick? So Carrick's doing a good job. Run with it. It's not taking the sentimental approach. I think he's had good amount of body of work in Middlesbrough. I know people say he got relegated and all that stuff, but still he had them high flying for a large part of that season in the Championship. The Championship is the hardest league in the world after the Premier League, according to me. So there's lots of things going for Carrick. And I hope as a United fan, we can just see it flourish more.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so much fun so far. And like you said, we've passed so many different tests. I think he's pretty much stuck to the same team. Of course, Sheshko came in for the last game. And it's such a breath of fresh air from what Amarim was, right? I think me and Karak were discussing these 1:30 kickoffs, and Karak was like, I hate these kickoffs, they're the worst. And when we had Amarim, I was the exact same way, but now I don't mind. You put our game at any time. I'm very happy to watch Michael Carrick balls. Uh, but yeah, I think the question about whether he gets the full-time job, we can gradually wait till the end of the season and make that call. He's also benefited from the fact that we've had one game a week, so he's had time to prepare. He doesn't really have to rotate the team too much. But so far, 10 on 10, man. And I think we are
It's
definitely
insane.
favorites
I
now
mean,
to make top four.
it It is. I mean, you just said a point there. The fact that we just have one game and it's not that much of a distraction because you'll see all the other guys go for it. Europa League for Aston
Yeah.
Villa. There's, of course, Liverpool playing the Champions League there. And there's so much more going on with other teams. In fact, Shiv, I don't remember a single season in our life where we've just played 40 games the entire season. So, I mean, 38 Prem games. You got knocked out in the FA Cup, you got knocked out in the League Cups. Essentially, that's probably the shortest United season ever on paper, but the fixtures ahead with Newcastle today, then Villa, and then I think we're playing Liverpool as well early May. I think even if we get around 75, 76 points from where we were, it's
Yeah.
incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
And knowing that Arsenal are used to choking, City, we're not too far away from City. Can we dream?
I was looking at that. I saw a video as well. I follow the guys at Stretford Paddock, and they were just like hypothetically putting scenarios out, permutations, combinations. And there was another guy on Twitter who I follow, which is like Absolute Bruno. And he's gone on to screenshot an image of the league 38 matches played and United 81 points, and then Arsenal 38 matches played, 80 points. I don't know how he's done what, but I don't think we can win the league. But I definitely want to see an Arsenal wobble. I definitely want to see City, just have it till the last day. I hate both those teams. I hate Arsenal for the fans. I hate City because of them being
Because it's
just
City.
cunts over. Yeah, just cunts over the years, like a fucking glorified, rich biggin. That's all that they are. But if Guardiola just does one more, it'll be mad because then they're going to be coming for us at one point in time because we have 13 Prems and he'll have 8 if he wins this. So he won't be too far away. So it's almost like you're choosing the two lesser of the evils. Shiv,
Yeah.
you know a lot of Arsenal fans, and so do I. And we have like those annoying Arsenal fans who
Mhm.
won't stop giving it the big one. So
Yeah.
I hope Arsenal do win it, but they really struggle in winning it. And they only win that. They don't do any other fucking cups. I mean, City can get the Carabao and someone else can win the Champions
Yeah.
League. Bodo Glimt win the Champions League. Wow. Fuck Arsenal winning
That's
the
a
league.
story.
That's
Yeah.
a story.
I think Karak and me discuss are Arsenal going to choke every weekend and with their results. I think it's only 2 points right now, essentially, if City win their game in hand. But Karak and Avanish, I just want to get, after this Wolves result, do you think Liverpool will get a Champions League spot next year, Karak?
Yeah, I think so. I think Chelsea and Villa don't look that great. Imagine we don't look great at all. But then if you watch Villa and Chelsea, man, they don't look great at all. And Villa were, 14 points ahead of us at one point, and now we're just like 3 points. They're just 3 points ahead of us. And then they play Chelsea now. So, and then they play United after that. So I think from a fixture perspective, I feel like we have the better set of fixtures. And if we say win 4 out of the next 6, and I don't see Villa winning 4 in the next 4. I don't think they'll win anything in the next 3. So I think we have a chance, but I'm confident we'll finish in the top 5. I wouldn't say top 4, I'd say top 5. But let's see, man. I think it all depends on what Slot does and if Slot's going to get sacked. And if he continues playing Gakpo every day, then, brother, I think we'll finish 6th.
Wow.
And Avanish, what
I
about
mean,
you?
Shiv, I mean, when I look at it, I generally think we have a lot of, how do I put it, other people and other teams' fate in our hands because we play Villa soon. We play Chelsea also in the near future. And then I said that we're going to be
We play
playing
Liverpool.
Liverpool in May. So essentially, all those 3 teams lie below us. Today, you look at Villa, Chelsea, that's going to be a little pivotal one in the grander scheme of things because of the draw there. Liverpool lost last night. United can go 2 points above Villa if they win against Newcastle today. So this weekend and then every time United play all these kind of key figures in the 4th, 5th, 6th position, huge relevance in those games. The other games you feel like, say, I mean, I know Wolves beat Villa, and Villa have just been absolutely hit hard with their midfield just not being there anymore, which is sad. But I also feel at one point in time, Emery might just take the gamble and be like, you know what? I know how to win the Europa League. Let me put all the eggs in that basket
Yeah.
and just whatever, ride the emotions of the Premier League, right? Because I don't see Chelsea kind of not kind of put their best foot forward. Rosinia has shown us decent amount of evidence that the team has been all right under him. I mean, few times Arsenal have got the better of him, but I generally feel Chelsea will be there. So I look at it as painfully Arsenal winning the league, just City second, United third, Chelsea fourth, Liverpool fifth, Villa sixth. So basically Villa falling off a cliff. And at one point in time,
Yeah.
in December, they could have gone like
title.
to table toppers and all of that stuff. Who knows, man? Who knows? But what I would say, and I miss saying this in that Arsenal bit, how many times will they just keep scoring the same amount of goal? I mean, you can do it once, you can do it twice,
Yeah.
but like even Leicester played better football than them. And I just feel like, come on, man, just be the Arsenal that we've known growing up and watching, where it's electric and it's fluid. It can't just be the same pattern. So that's my only qualm against Arsenal. But as they say in sport, however it takes to win, you win.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get over the line no matter what, which is why they have a song, Set Piece Again, Set Piece Again. And you just like, this Arsene Wenger's Arsenal, they used to play some of the most beautiful football, and these guys are singing about set pieces. But yeah, I mean, they've been dying to win these trophies for the last few years. I'm honestly intrigued. We should get an Arsenal fan soon and just ask them, would they rather win the Champions
We
League
should.
or the Premier League? I'm intrigued to know what that answer is, because they've never won the Champions League either. So if they had the choice, what would they
It's
pick?
a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. I've always asked like a lot of my Arsenal friends of that, and they always kind of say it's Premier League because they haven't won in 22 years. But it's that song which all of the clubs lying behind Arsenal right now could sing, which is like, champions of Europe, you'll never sing
Never
that.
sing
Which
that.
literally, I don't want to
Yeah.
tempt fate, because they actually might be getting the better side of the draw. They got Leverkusen away. So with City and Madrid, one of them going out, it actually is opening up the tournament in more for Arsenal. So if they do that unthinkable double, forget the quadruple, they'll just be jacking off to that for years. So I don't know. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I sit very, very happy if I was one, but I wouldn't be so sure of it, because City also has it in their hands. So that's going to be like super interesting to see.
Yeah.
No, but I think with Arsenal also, that Champions League draw is an absolute joke. We finished first last year. We got PSG. These guys are getting Leverkusen. And then if at all they move on, obviously they are going to move on. They might get Bodo. And then after that, they might get Barcelona. So Barcelona is the only test till the semi-final for them. Whereas if you look
Bodo, lads, Bodo.
at... Sorry.
Arteta are going to struggle in an away day in the Arctic, my friend. For sure. The North Circle, the North Pole.
But Avnish, listen, what they do is, their corners are just, it's just so on point, right? Like if you watch that Chelsea game, one to the far post, one to the near post, flick it up. There's always 5 guys behind, hugging the keeper, hugging all the defenders. So, and they do it really well, like credit where it's due. They've smashed they know how to win. They know how to get their corners right, get their free kicks right. I don't enjoy watching Arsenal play at all, but it is what it is, and that's where the league is heading towards. And all the top 5 managers have all said it out loud that the league is boring, a lot of corners, a lot of throw-ins, and all of that jazz. But then, like you said, if that's how you want to win, you win. There's no rule on how to win. But I'm not enjoying this league as much as how I enjoyed it last year.
What I would also give them credit for, and one man in particular, is Declan Rice and his deliveries. I mean, you normally kind of look back at the Premier League and look at Beckham and how he can crosses it, or his free kicks, or even De Bruyne and those amazing passes that he used to slide through. Declan Rice in his corners, if he can do this for the next 2-3 years and literally just get a bag of goals for his team and assists, basically, is incredible. I read somewhere else where the Arsenal set piece coach has a thing in his contract where the amount of dead ball goals that they concede, he just keeps getting bonuses. Maybe he's richer than Arteta right now. By the looks of things. Maybe.
Yeah,
But
that's actually a very... Sorry, Shiv. Let me finish this. There's actually a very interesting quote also about that contract. So when Arteta signed his extension, he made sure that his support staff members get a different contract, so they're not a part of Arteta's coaching staff. So the set piece coach actually negotiated his own contract with the club, and he had basically told them that, listen, I want to add this clause because I know I can add value to the club's set pieces. And imagine, dude, like, he signed a contract till 2020, and he has it like hands down. Like, he knows what he's doing by the looks of it, because, man, they've scored, 16 goals so far through set pieces in the Premier League.
That's no,
Yeah.
fair play. I mean, as much as I don't like seeing that many goals of set pieces, corners are a huge part in today's game, and Arsenal are acing it. Sorry, Shiv, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, no, we were talking about Declan Rice, and I had one final question on United, which is about our captain, Bruno Fernandes. Do you think he should win Premier League Player of the Year?
Man, he should win the Ballon d'Or. I honestly think, like, obviously, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, Man City fans, Madrid fans, come at me here. Tell me a better player in the world than Bruno Fernandes right now in that position. There's no one. There is absolutely no one. Even when De Bruyne was there, I would still say Bruno. The amount of stuff he's done in that 6-7 years is incredible. 100 goals, 100 assists. He's in some of the pantheons of legends with United. We're talking about Scholes, Beckham. And Bruno has literally been obviously the best signing post Fergie, but also just without him, Shiv, we would have been relegated last year. Without,
Yeah.
I don't know, his contributions this year, we would have probably been 10th or 12th. And every time I look at my TV and I'm hoping and I'm praying, and it's almost like what I used to be as an Indian fan with Virat. Please get me out of this hole. Please get me out of this hole. I do that, and Bruno gets us out of the hole. Bro, like, think
Yeah.
about all the great games this year. Even Liverpool away, that ball that he pops to Maguire back first touch, mad. Just mad. And it's things
Yeah.
like this that rival fans won't see and underline. And then obviously if United fans highlight it, be like, oh yeah, you guys will just be glorifying about. So I generally think Bruno is top draw. Give him whatever he wants. Make him stay for the next 3-4 years. But he's just quality. He could probably even then become a Scholesy sort of player in the twilight of his career and just sit and dictate and stuff like that, because we're going to lose Casemiro. I hope Chelsea don't get Champions League, so they lose Palmer to us. Palmer goes up, Bruno Menu,
Yeah.
and Palmer. It'll be fucking odd. And then Cunha, Bruno. It'll be mad. It'll be fucking mad.
No, and to think we nearly
But
lost
yes.
him in the summer, man. What a godsend he's been for us, and I really hope we do hold on to him. I think he spoke about it in an interview that, like, the owners kind of gave him the vibe that they were trying to let him go, but then Amram luckily kept hold of him and said, "No, we want you here." And thankfully, thankful to Amram that that's the one last thing he did for us, that we held on to Bruno. And yeah, I totally agree. I think he should definitely win Player of the Year. The only thing not going for us is that we might not win the league, and it usually goes to someone who wins the league, which is the only argument I think you can make for Declan Rice. But I don't think anyone else is in that sort of bracket of who should win that trophy. But yeah, Avanish, it's been a pleasure to have you on. It's been fun to talk about United, especially because we are in a rich vein of form. Hopefully, India can also pull through. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, just thanks for having me on again, guys. I mean, I've been observing your work for quite a while right now, since the first time I came on, and you guys are growing onwards and upwards. And do give them a follow on the individual pages as well. I think there's going to be a lot of sport in the next 3-4 months. I'm looking forward to it. I'm obviously going to be keen to come on maybe the next time if United do something crazy as well, which I think we will. Then I'm more than happy to come on and pour my thoughts. But hopefully India win the World Cup, and hopefully we see some crazy Champions League winner. Not the same old, but just a mad Champions League winner, because the Premier League, whatever it happens. I just hope it goes down to the wire, and that's what neutrals would like to see. But thanks for having me on. Honestly, it's been fantastic. Rohit and Shiv, top trads.
Yeah. And maybe 21 is coming. Let's just hope. You never know. But yeah, that's been episode
It's
27 of the
coming.
Clutch Report. And we shall catch you in the next one.
Done. Cheers, boys. Have fun. See you soon.